Hi everyone, you're welcome to Vab Fashion's YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be sharing with us how to make this beautiful butterfly kimono you see right here. It's a combination of Adire fabric and Asoke. This kimono has a built-up neckline and it has front pockets on both sides. This is beautiful, simple and elegant, and it is very easy to make. If you want to learn how to make this, please make sure to keep on watching till the end. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please quickly hit on the subscribe button to subscribe and ensure that you put on your notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you find this video helpful, leave a comment and please share this video. Thank you, and let's get started. I have 4.5 yards of Adire fabric and I have 7 pieces of Asoke. Asoke usually comes in twos and the length is about 65 inches. Very few times is less than 65. So here this is 2 pieces. So I have 7 pieces of Asoke. I'll be making use of 7 pieces. So to get started, I'll fold my fabric. Lengthwise, the length of my client is 60 inches plus 2 inches for hemming allowance, that's 62. And then the width of the fabric I'm going to be folding is 17 inches on fold, which is what I've done here. You can see I cut out my excess fabric. So here on fold, like I said, I have 17 inches on fold. My fabric is folded into four, you can see. So the upper one is going to serve as the front, while the one underneath will serve as the back. This kimono is not going to have a shoulder slant. Of course, it's a kimono, so it doesn't need a shoulder slant. It's cut together with sleeve. So that is why I have a fold of 17 inches. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is to mark out the neckline. Before marking out the neckline, you're going to put into consideration the width of the Asoke you're working with. And here the width of the Asoke I'm working with is 6 inches. So when folded into two, I'm going to have 3 inches. Okay, so now that if I fold my Asoke into two, I'm going to have 3 inches. The neck width I'm going to be working with will be 2 inches. So whatever your Asoke measurement is, when you fold your Asoke into two, whatever it is, you're going to subtract 1 inch from it and mark it as your neck width. Now, like I said, that the Asoke, when folded into two, it is 3 inches. Then the neckline I'm going to work with, that's the neck width. I'm going to be working a neck width of 2 inches, which is 1 inch less than it, because we're going to use half inch to join the Asoke and the Adire fabric. So it will take away 1 inch. So you want to make sure that the neck width is less than the width of the Asoke on fold. I hope you understand that. So I marked the neck width of 2 inches and the neck depth of 1 inch. And this is for the back neckline. So having marked the neckline, then I'll go ahead and mark 2 inches, which is the neck width I'm working with. I'll mark it all the way down to the hem here. After marking out the 2 inches, I'm using my straight ruler to connect it all the way down to the hem. So I'll bring in my scissors now and cut out the back neckline. This neck depth of 1 inch is the back neckline. And then I'm going to separate the front from the back. Just watch carefully what I'm doing. I'll open it up like this. So this side that is coming towards the right now is the back, and the side that has the 2 inches marking is going to be the front. So I'm going to cut on this 2 inches line I marked. I'll cut it out. This is the part where we're going to have our showcase. And you see, so having cut it out, this is what we have. So let me fold them into two so that we can see what our kimono looks like right now. So you can see I have an opening here of 4 inches. Remember, it was 2 inches on fold. So now that it's open, of course, it is now up to 4 inches. And you see, so now the next thing I'm going to do is to measure the length I have here from the hem. I'm going to measure it all the way to the center back. This will determine the length of the Asoke we're going to have at the center here. So I'm going to take this measurement all the way to the center back. And at this point here, I have 60 inches. And you see, so I'll take out my tape and measure the remaining part. So here now I have 6 inches. And you see, so I have 6 inches. I already have 60. 60 plus 6, that's 66. So this is 66 in two places because we have two sides. Remember, I folded into two while taking the measurement. So that means 66 on both sides. So 66 times 2, that will give me 132 inches. 132 inches. So I will pick the Ashoke, the one that has not been cut, the one that is long enough to give me 132 inches. I'm actually going to add about 2 inches to this measurement. This is just so that It is better to have excess than to have shortage. So I measured 66, 66 times 2, that's 132. I'm going to be cutting on 134. It is okay for me to trim out my excess when I am done. Okay, so here I'm cutting out 134 inches, and you can see it is folded into two. So on fold here, I have 67 on one side and I have 67 on the other side. So that's 134 inches. Okay, so after cutting out our shoki from the folded part, which is here, I'm going to come down by 13 inches. I'll mark 13 inches. Take note that the ashoke is on fold. So I'm marking 13 inches. This is where the head will pass through. So this is not a standard. You can make this, you can make yours longer or shorter depending on how deep you want the neckline to be. Next, I'll go ahead and mark 3 inches, which is marking the midpoint of our ashoke. Remember I said the ashoke is 6 inches in width. So I'm basically marking the midpoint, which is 3 inches. So I'm going to mark this all the way down to the hem, which is the opened part. And then I'll bring in my straight ruler and straighten out the line, just draw straight line all the way to that 13 inches. Can you see? So now the next thing I'm going to do is to take this to my sewing machine, and I will start stitching from this 13 inches mark. I'll stitch all the way down to the end. I will stitch exactly on that 3 inches line I marked. So I'll go stitch it and come back and show us the next thing to do. Okay, I'm done stitching on the 3 inches mark, and this is what I have. So you can see they are joined together now. That's starting from that 13 inches mark I have all the way down. So I'm going to separate them just like this and give this a good press so you can see how I opened it up. You see? So I'm going to press this down so that it relaxes well, and then I'll fold the neckline area here. So you can see, like I said, that this 13 inches is not a constant. You can actually make this longer or shorter depending on your size and depending on how deep you want the neckline to be. So here is the part where the head will come out from. So as you can see, I'm done ironing it. So right now I'm going to bring in the kimono and I'll show us how you will be attaching the ashoke to the kimono. I'll go ahead and notch the midpoint of the back neckline. So this is our kimono. You can see I'm folding it into two, and I'll notch the midpoint of the back neckline, which is the center back. So having notched this point, I'll also bring in the ashoke and then notch the center back. So I'll just fold the ashoke. You can see that the ashoke is already ironed. So here I'll just fold this part into two because it is even already. So I will notch this point. This is also the center back here. Okay, so I'm going to pin the center back right side of the ashoke facing right side of the fabric, and I'm going to make sure that I place the notches facing each other. Okay, I want to make sure that it's well aligned. So I've pinned the middle. So now I'm going to pin this side of the ashoke to the side of the kimono. So pin it respectively. Let the left be go to the left while the right side goes to the right side of the kimono as well. Okay, so I'm going to pin this all the way down, and then I'll pin the other side. And as you can see, I am done pinning this side, and you see I'll also repeat the same thing on the other side. And you see, I'm done pinning them. So now the right thing to do to make sure that your ashoke is well aligned, I'm going to start stitching from the center back. So start from this side, stitch it all the way down, and then come back, start from this side again and stitch it all that. Start from the middle again and stitch it all the way down. This will help your ashoke to sit very, very well. Okay, and as you can see, I am done stitching it, and I've also given it a good press. So you can see what we have right now. And I also went ahead to weave the ashoke. You want to make sure that your work is neat. So the next thing I'm going to do is to pin the ashoke we're going to have on the sides of our butterfly. And you see, so you want to make sure that it is long enough to give you the length. Remember, the length of the gown we're making is 62 inches. That's including hemming allowance. So ashoke, because we have the front and back, so the ashoke length is going to be also 62 times 2, which is going to now be 124 inches, so that we have it on this side. So I'll pick the ashoke that has not been cut. Like I said, I have 7 pieces, but they come in twos. Remember I said that. So they are not in pieces. They are two each. You can see. So this is the ashoke here. I'll also notch this one at the middle, and I've also notched the midpoint on the shoulder line here. So I'm pinning it right side facing right side. Want to make sure that the point where you notched are aligned. So I'll go ahead and secure it with my pins, and then I will pin the other side too. So right now I'm pinning all the way down to the hem, and I'll repeat the same thing on the back side and repeat the same thing on the other side as well. Pin both on the front and back all together. So I'll pin it and show us the next thing to do. As you can see, I've pinned the asoke to both edges. So I'll take this to my sewing machine and stitch it down. I'll stitch both sides, which is what I have done already. Can you see? So we now have our asoke on the both edges. So now the next thing we're going to do is to place the pockets. The pocket I'm going to be attaching to this outfit. The width of the pocket is going to be 8 inches. Remember I said the width of our shoke is 6 inches. So meaning I can't get up to 8 inches. So I'll have to overlap the ashoke. So right now I'm going ahead to measure the length of the pocket, and I'm working with 12 inches including hemming allowance. So you can see I'm cutting it on fold. So I'll cut out two pieces of this. I'll place 12 inches on fold and cut out two pieces so that we can overlap it and have our pocket. So now out of 7 pieces of ashoke, this is just what I have left, the one I dropped. So this is the one I'm going to be using for our pocket. So I'm slashing this point open, and I'll do the same thing on the second piece. I'll go ahead and overlap it. So I'll overlap it in a way that I'll have 10 inches so that I can use 1 inch on both sides to hem the pocket. Okay. So this is it. So I'm basically overlapping it so that we can have the width of our pocket, which is 8 inches. And I'll be making it 10 inches because we need hemming allowance on both sides of 1 inch. So that's total of 10 inches. So as you can you see how I just overlapped them? So I'm just going to use my pin to secure it as well, and then take this to my sewing machine and make a top stitch. I will do the same thing on the second pocket, and then I'll fold in 1 inch on this side. Can you see? I'm folding in 1 inch on this side as well. So I'll now have the width of 8 inches. And then at the upper part, I'm also going to fold ½ inch and then fold 1 inch. Then at the down part of the pocket, I'll fold ½ inch and then fold ½ inch again. I'll repeat the same thing on the second pocket and then show us the next thing to do. So as you can see, I'm done folding the pockets on both sides, and then the upper part I stitched it down. That 1 inch I folded, you can see I stitched it down. Then the down part, it's folded just there. I didn't stitch it. I didn't stitch the two sides, and I didn't stitch the down part. I only stitched the upper part because the upper part is the part where you're going to put your hand from. Okay, and like I said, I did this on both pockets. So now the next thing we're going to do to place the pocket from the shoulder line, I'm going to measure 17 inches. This 17 inches I'm working with is the waistline of the client I'm making this outfit for. So having marked 17 inches, I'm going to mark 1 inch away from our shoke, and then I'll place the pocket like this. Can you see? I'll place it. You want to make sure that it's well aligned. So this is me confirming my 1 inch. So I haven't confirmed it. I'm just going to gradually lift this up and use my safety pins to secure it down. After pinning both pockets, as you can see, it is well aligned. So I'll take this to my sewing machine, and then I'll top stitch on the 3 corners, excluding the upper part where the hand will go in from. So I'm going to be making a top stitch on the pocket on the 3 corners, excluding the upper part. So I am done making this top stitch, and you can see this is the part where you can access the pocket from. The next thing I went ahead to do was to hem the down part. I've hemmed the down part with the 2 inches hemming allowance I added. And then I also went ahead to cut this belt. This gown is going to have an invisible belt that you would tie around the underbust area to give the bust that tight fitting. And this is optional. If you just don't want to have that tight fitting around there, that's fine. But if you want to have that tight fitting, it just has a way of giving the bust that tight fitting around there so the bust comes out more. Okay. So the length of this belt is 40 inches, and on fold it is 2.5 inches. I've already stitched it and I turned it out. So now from the shoulder line, as you can see, our kimono is open. From the shoulder line, I'm coming down by 14 inches, which is the underbust of my client. And then from the side of the ashoke, I'm measuring 3.5 inches. So when I take the measurement from the center, it's going to be 6.5 inches. So I measure 3.5 inches away from the ashoke. So I'm going to pin down this spot and this belt here. One of the belts, I'll pin it down here. Take note that I said from shoulder to under bust point, which is 14 inches. So it's going to be at the under bust. The idea is to give tight fitting around the bust area if you want to tie the belt. And take note, I'm placing it on the front part. Then I'm also going ahead to measure the other side. I measure 3.5 inches also on the other side, and I'll pin down the belt here too. Can see, so I'm also just going to stitch the belt down here and stitch it. So this belt is only in front, not at the back. Okay, we don't have it at the back. So you can, when tying the belt, all you need to do is to just take it to the back side and tie it, so it will just give the bust that tight fitting around there. So the next thing I'm going to do is to shape this kimono. So you can see I'm folding back the kimono. Want to make sure that the shoulder line is well folded. Please, you need to arrange the kimono now. It is very important. You need to make sure that it is well arranged now, so that you don't have the front longer than the back or the back longer than the front. So having done that, next I'm going to measure from shoulder to 11 inches, which is the bust point. This is going to be the sleeve opening. So from shoulder to 11 inches, this is it, and I marked here. Next, I marked shoulder to waistline, which is 17 inches. Next, I'm going ahead to mark shoulder to hip line, which is 25 inches. Now, on this shoulder to 11 inches, I'm going to measure from the center front here, where we joined our aso-oke, that's the center front. I'm going to enter the bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch. That 1 inch is for ease, so that the bubu is free, you get, so that the kaftan is, kimono is free, I beg your pardon. So from the center front, I measured the bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch, and that's 11 inches, so I marked it. On the waistline, I'm going to enter the bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch. Take note that we're marking the waistline, but I'm entering the bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch. So I'm not using the waist measurement in this case, because this is going to be very free. So I marked the bust measurement on the waistline as well. Then on the hip line, I'm going to enter the hip measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch as well. So I marked it here. So this kimono is going to have a slit at the down part. So for the slit, it's just going to be, the stitch is not going to go all the way down to the hem. So for the slit, it's going to be 12 inches in length. So I will measure upwards from the hem, and I'll measure 12 inches. So this is where our 12 inches mark is. So at this point where we have our 12 inches, I'm going to enter the hip measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch as well. So this already, that slit we have there is enough for freedom of movement. So I'm going to enter the hip measurement divided by 4 plus 1 here. Take note that I'm placing my tape from the center front, that's from the joining of the aso-oke. And then I'll go ahead and connect the points. You can see, so we're going to have the opening of 12 inches at the down part. So exactly what I have done on this side, I will repeat on the other side. Please take note that all my markings are on the right side of the fabric, on the right side of the fabric, so that by the time we are done stitching, we're going to have the butterfly effect. So I'm stitching on the right side, okay? I'm stitching on the right side of our fabric. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, mark everything I did on the other side. I'm just going to make sure to repeat exactly the same thing, and which is what I have done. As you can see, I've also stitched it. So you can see I've stitched the belt on the inside, and this is it. And you can see I've also stitched the sides, and I stopped 12 inches away from the hem, and here we are. You can see, so we now have the butterfly effect. You see, so okay, so this is the final outcome of our butterfly kimono. You can see how beautiful it came out. The aso-oke mix with the adire is just a perfect mix. It came out so well. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something. If you did, please make sure to like this video, share this video with your friends, and do not forget to hit on the subscribe button to subscribe. And ensure that you put on your notification bell so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.